Hello everybody, this is your old friend RJ City. Today, we will be unboxing, well not unboxing because I found these in a childhood box, but these are Elvis Presley trading cards. I don't know why I have them. I do also remember as a child having an Elvis Presley doll. It was like maybe it was like a Barbie edition. It was a Barbie-sized Elvis Presley, soft goods, had pants and a jacket, and of course a guitar. And maybe these cards came with the figure. Nevertheless, I also don't recall really being like a crazy Elvis fan. More so than like, oh, I get it. You know what I mean? I wasn't like a personal, like the way I am with the wonderful, Mario Alonso or something. But I'm just like, why? Who? There? At one point I was into Elvis? I guess so. Nevertheless, let's go through these cards and find out why. Oh, here's the first one. I think this is some wartime Elvis. This is him. Oh, hey doc, how's my blood pressure? So pretty good. Is people liking my blood pressure? The doctor, well, everything looks fine, Elvis. See what it says on the back here. Nice chunk of information here. Elvis raised the blood pressure of so many women around the world. Here, he's getting his own blood pressure checked while being inducted into the U.S. Army. They say inducted like it's a Hall of Fame or something. Elvis passed the physical with flying colors. No one had better blood pressure than Elvis. The picture of good health, whether it was all those games of touch football at Graceland or all those all-night roller skating sessions in Memphis, because all you need to do to get into tip-top shape, occasionally football and some casual roller skating with friends. Elvis was in pretty good shape, and Uncle Sam planned to put him into even better shape. He was 185 pounds at his induction and 170 pounds at his discharge. Wow, he was thin. He must have a little flair, but I'd like to lose around the hips. I haven't been playing football as often as I should. Maybe the casual recreation wasn't enough to fully keep him in shape. Just throwing that out here. Next one, I thought this was from the Army, but no way. This is good old-fashioned cinema movie dirt on his chest as he's maybe digging a ditch or something. That's good old, just put some black grease here. Like, yeah, that's what happens when you're out in the fields. Well, it's not a field. It's just gravel. This is from Jailhouse Rock. To the surprise of no one, he's doing good old-fashioned prison labor. One of Elvis's favorite film roles was that of Vince Everett in Jailhouse Rock. Could have just called him Elvis. The acting, the singing, and the dancing were all among the finest he ever did in motion pictures. But there was one tragic note connected to this movie. Co-star Judy Tyler, who played Princess Summer Fall Winter Spring on the Howdy Doody TV show, was killed in a car accident shortly before the film was released. Elvis was so shaken by her death that he couldn't watch the film for 10 years after the incident. I'm so shaken by the back of this card that I don't think I can watch this film either. I did not know that, and that is horribly tragic. Of all the things you gotta, oh man. Well, and he looks like he's thinking about it, even though this is long before it even happened, but Jesus. It's a bit of a bring down card. And I believe this is from the same movie, because he's in a jail jumpsuit. That looks like Vince Everett to me. Great character face acting. This is a color publicity still, no it's not, from Jailhouse Rock, Elvis's third movie, which was filmed in black and white. So it's in color, but it's filmed in black and white. It premiered on October 17th, 1957 in Memphis. Elvis was guaranteed $250,000 for the picture, plus 50% of the profits. The total gross was more than $4 million, making it one of the top grossing films of 1957. Here's, film facts. It's an MGM picture. Elvis Presley, Judy Tyler, Mickey Shaughnessy, who I believe is Irish, and Dean Jones. Directed by Richard Thorpe. Produced by Pandro S. Berman. And screenplay by Guy Trosper. I hate that after hitting me with that tragic connection, I hate now that they, just keep bringing up the same film, the same tragic, horrible. This picture would always be like it on a tin. Do you know those tin pictures that hang in diners that try to be retro diners? And they'd be like, this is what people did in the 50s. And always be this picture, Marilyn Monroe, and like the Three Stooges playing golf. And that would be it. That's all people did in the 50s, according to diners in the 90s. You know, do you understand what I'm talking about? I hope so. And this is from a little film called Jailhouse Rock. If you can only see one Elvis Presley movie, make it Jailhouse Rock. If I only knew Elvis from these cards, I would only think he made Jailhouse Rock. You're holding the reason right in your hands. I should just watch this card then. The dance sequence that accompanies Elvis's performance of the title song just might be the best thing he ever put down on celluloid. It is hot, sexy, and it can stand side by side with any movies that Michael Jackson ever made or will make. Whoever wrote the back of these cards was A, deeply insecure about his love of Elvis, and B, hated Michael Jackson. It's the king at his most royal. He was like walking into the office that day, and somebody was like, hey, I think Michael Jackson's the new king. He's the Prince of Pop, but I think he's the new king. And this guy was fucking grumbling. It's like, fucking shit. Better than any movie. This guy saw Captain EO and then was really pissed. Like, it fucking sucked. Oh, look at this. Here's Elvis driving. Perhaps a golf cart or something. So just a precedent it goes. Even something as relatively easy as riding the bumper cars at an amusement park provided a unique challenge for the king of rock and roll. So they bump into each other and they won't crash. Rather than risk being mobbed in a public place and disturbing the enjoyment of others in the process, Elvis has his own method for engaging in one of his favorite pastimes. He simply waited until after hours. He simply waited. Then rented out the entire place and showed up with a bunch of hand-picked friends. I'll take you, and not you. I'm sorry, not this time, no. Bunch of hand-picked friends to ride the bumper cars all night long. Talk about shake, rattle, and roll. That was the card saying that, not me. After like 3 rounds in the bumper cars, it must be fucking exhausting to keep up. Like, the guy's been cooped up for probably months working on music and touring and whatever. And then wants to ride the bumper cars for like 6 hours? Get the fuck out of here. It's ridiculous. Tell the attendant to go home. Oh, so this is a real car. Does this one bump too? In the early days of Elvis's career, the band would hit the road for one-nighter after one-nighter. With the adrenaline pumping after a concert, the guys would head out, taking turns driving to the next stop on the tour. Whoever wasn't behind the wheel would doze off in the car. But there were times on these trips that Elvis was so keyed up is an operative term, they'd have to stop and walk him up and down the side of the road to tire him out enough to fall asleep. That's like something you do with, I don't know, golden retriever. You're like, let's just walk him up and down. Is he okay. Or like a pug. This is how you would treat a pug. And they also had a little Tupperware where they put some water in it and put it down and he would drink out of it. Uh-oh. What movie is this? I don't think that's Elvis. I think that's Vince Everett. Dig that crazy acting. In Jailhouse Rock, Elvis played Vince Everett, a man who was sent to jail for killing someone at a barroom brawl. While serving time, a fellow inmate played by Mickey Shaughnessy convinces him that he has musical ability. Hey, you snap pretty well there, Vince. Oh, I guess I do. Among the songs performed are Treat Me Nice and Don't Leave Me Now. But the absolute highlight is Elvis's performance in the title song, which was also his 9th #1 single. This card really supplements the other Jailhouse Rock cards. I don't think the doll I got was Jailhouse Rock related at all. So this is very this was perhaps written by the guy who directed Jailhouse Rock. Oh, look, speaking of directing, here's Elvis. Well, you're taking a camera shot. I want to do my own too. It's smaller, but it's just as good. Also on the set of fucking Jailhouse Rock. Elvis was fascinated with every aspect of filmmaking. In some ways, he simply never got over the fact that the young man who went to hundreds of movies in his hometown of Memphis was now in front of the camera, making them himself. Here he is behind the scenes taking his own mementos of the production. By the way, for most of the prison scenes in Jailhouse Rock, he wears the uniform number 6239, but in the title dance sequence, the number is 6240 because he's one better than he was before. Good cinematic subtext there. Oh, look at this. This is unusual. I didn't know that he knew how to play guitar as well. It's fascinating. This is Elvis in the studio during the recording session for Love Me Tender, the title song from his motion picture debut. The film was originally called The Reno Brothers, but I guess they got rid of them. But the name was changed prior to its premiere to capitalize on the success of Love Me Tender. A week before its release, the song had already racked up $1 million in advanced orders. We're telling you, it's gonna be good. The first time this had happened in the entire history of recording. So the brothers they're done? They stopped being brothers? One of them left? Or do they have any sisters? Or maybe I could be a cousin. Oh, this is a tender moment. It's a good, hearty, solemn, emotional embrace here. Is that his father or the colonel? Not sure, but good socks and good cut of the pants. On August 12th, 1958, Elvis was granted emergency leave from the U.S. Army to visit his ailing mother back home in Memphis. He spent time with her that evening and twice the next day, but in the early hours of August 14th, the dreaded news came. Gladys Presley was dead of a heart attack aggravated by acute hepatitis at age 46. Holy shit. Elvis was inconsolable and openly emotional at the funeral, naturally. It was without question the saddest event in his life, one from which he never fully recovered. That's a hearty man-to-man embrace. I'm here for you. I'm uncomfortable socially with touching you, but still, let's make it a hug, but let's make it hard. And this, look at this. This is in, Florida. In person, Elvis. That's what happens when you have movies and you also do live shows. You have to say in person. It's very important. On February 12, 1956, Elvis appeared at the Florida Theater in Sarasota, Florida. And also on the bill were Justin Tubb, the Carter Sisters, and Benny Martin, who could forget. This performance followed 4 straight Saturday night appearances on national television and the RCA release of Heartbreak Hotel. The impact on record buyers and concertgoers was undeniable. Notice the line at the box office. Well, no shit. This is what it's a fucking picture of. Scenes like this were repeated wherever Elvis appeared. I wouldn't say it's around the block because it's such a short block. Like, it doesn't look like it's a... I would need to see the full shot of the block just to legitimately say, he's at least got a quarter of the block covered. Not too shabby. But maybe if it was Mario Lanza, they'd be all the way down the street. Oh, and finally, what is this disgustingly, extravagantly decorated building? This shot was taken from inside the dining room at Graceland. David and I stayed at Graceland. Just stayed at the hotel, the Graceland Hotel, because we were in Memphis and we had to do something in Nashville or some shit. And we stayed at the hotel, didn't go to Graceland. Great. It was fun. Hey, kids, look out the window. It's Disney World. This shot was taken from inside the dining room at Graceland, located directly across from the living room. The chandelier is Belgian crystal. For those of you wondering, your assumptions are correct. That is Belgian crystal. Today, the table is always set with Noritake china Buckingham pattern as selected by Elvis and Priscilla at the time of their wedding. Well, they had style. They just had a lot of money and could get whatever they want, and they did. And then they put it in the whole house. It's situated within viewing range of Elvis's prominent seat at the table. So every meal could be a TV dinner fit for a king. Priscilla, please, not now. The rifleman is on. Let me just eat and watch Chuck Connors. Thank you. What an odd building. Well, that was the life and times of Elvis, who only made one movie and really loved bumper cars.